I think there are many themes and patterns to my life, to my loves, and to my losses, but when I say I can't go back to my grandmother's house on my mother's side, I do not mean this in the same way when I say I cannot go back to my grandfather's house on my father's side. He died before I could get back there. If you took the 101 to the 405, you would get to Westminster. And on the corner of McFadden, you would find a yellow and brown roofed house. And after you park, right there on the street, look in the left side mirror before opening the door to traffic. Step up onto concrete and unlatch the white painted tin metal gate whose square bars treviate just enough space to sandwich the sides of your shoes. Squeeze them in and ride that gate as it swings open, pass by the smell of Ongwai's herb garden. Step up onto orange tile that is fatally slippery in the rain, to a wooden doorway with an oval stained glass window in its frame that requires your face to be at least 2 inches away to see anything out of. Get 2 centimeters close and ring the doorbell over and over and over. But why? And why? Morgan, Auntie Helen, is anyone there? Watch as a shadowy figure turns the corner and approaches the oval window. When I say I cannot go back there, I mean I will only find ghosts. Even though nobody has died yet, aunts, uncles, and cousins take turns tormenting a new corner of my grandmother's house. My grandmother's hallway snakes around in a square. White tile scales rise and fall beneath my feet, even as a young girl. Years of rain and soil expansion had warped the floors to mimic the heartbeat of the California coastline. I have not circumambulated that hallway in many years, but I can still feel the white tile slap up against my clammy feet. I can still feel my limbs being flung around each corner as I run away from my family. When I say I cannot go back there, I do not mean I wouldn't find anyone to talk to. In fact, walls are sometimes louder than people. Doorways open into memories, and memories are something I don't deal well with. When I say I can't go back there, I mean it reminds me of all the floors, in all the homes that were too cold for me to be barefoot in. It reminds me of all the screams that can echo through a hallway, especially mine, the one my mother raised me in when the front door and the back screen were open at the same time and the wind was just right. I swore I could hear the wind in the hallway singing. That's all it is, Elleni. Wind. Go back to sleep. I didn't know my grandfather was dying the last time I saw him, laying up in the same bed that would be neatly pressed and made the next time I saw it. Say goodbye to your grandfather, Elleni. It was after the funeral, and I could still hear my father's voice from that last goodbye so faintly, echoing off the walls of that empty room, with that empty bed. And on the night he died, and I know it was the night he died because they waited exactly a week to tell me, on the night he died, the wind in the hallway of the home of my mother let out a startled scream, made up of summer breeze, just let it loose under my door jamb. And I woke from my bed, and I fell on the floor, and I started to cry. Because I just knew he was gone. I just knew he was gone because the hallway told me so. That is something I've never told anyone, so while I'm laying it all out here, I might as well tell you that when I say I cannot go back to my grandmother's house, I am not scared of the ghosts, of the not yet dead strangers still roaming the hallways. I am scared of time and how it builds. I am scared that with time, the longer I wait, soon my grandmother's house won't even have the ghosts, and the guilt in my throat will only get bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'll be left choking on my bedroom floor next to an empty bed in an otherwise empty room, connected to an empty hallway, white tile scales staring up at me in dead silence.